to buy some fucking sticks?
Do you smell like garbage, like a big old pile of trash?
I can smell you from here, and you smell bad.
Ooh-wee, unsubscribe. But before you do, god damn it, we got so many scent options for you. What do they have now? What do they have?
You didn't even say who they are. It's Incense Zen.
Incense Zen.
What do they have now?
What do those friendly fellas have?
Do you want sticks that you can burn and can smell good?
Yeah.
Incense Zen.
Incense Zen. But let me tell you what, fellas and ladies, they don't just have stinky sticks you can burn that make your stink go down the drink. They have some scented candles.
Oh God, the neighbors! It's late.
It's late. It's late, and they're cranky right now. Not just because we're yelling near them, but because they don't have the sweet aroma of an IncenseZen.com candles.
IncenseZen.com candles.
Why don't you tell them how they can get a little ass discount on that, huh?
You can get a 15% discount on Incense Zen products by using the code Gus Eddy or Eddy Gus. They both work, and you can buy. I saw a scent called Dragon's Blood.
What's that?
I don't know what the fuck that smells like, but you should buy it for $2. And I'm going to do this same bit in my video that I'm uploading tomorrow. So that's it. That's Incense Zen. And that's good luck.
We're back, fellas.
We're back.
Watch this shit. Buy that shit. Let's get into the pot. Let's do Welcome back, guys.
Thing. We'll do like a point thing together. Let's get into the podcast. Dude, that was good. That was whoa, what the fuck was that?
The spinning. All right, we set?
I guess.
Ready to go, rock and roll.
All right, and we're back. Wow. Just like you saw last week. Oops. Actually,
what, you talking about our hiatus?
Yeah, we took a little hiatus.
Yeah,
here.
we split up. We both moved out and then moved back in.
Yeah, we got over it, though.
Why don't you get to the intro?
All right, so we are sitting here today with Parker. You may know Parker from his YouTube channel, ParkerGames, or his Disney XD show.
That's right.
Heck yes.
That was a close one.
Ooh, just about lost monetization.
It's almost as if you said it.
You can catch him on Disney XD with his show, Parker Plays. So welcome to Parker. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I mean, like, I'm not here to like show the show and be like, yo, guys, check it out, because obviously you guys and people watching, I assume, aren't like 11-year-old boys.
I don't know. I haven't checked the stats.
I feel
That's
like
true.
one inside, but that's maybe.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad to be here. You guys are wonderful.
We're happy to have you, dude.
Thank you guys for joining us. We just wanted to. No, I was gonna just fully outro.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. This has been fun, guys.
No,
Thank you.
I'll explain really quick to people because they might not have seen the tweet. We got extra tweets after. We were off for 3 weeks because we had to go to Canada, and then I went back home to Chicago, and then also Gus got pneumonia, and I was a little bit sick too.
You got pneumonia?
Yo, yeah, dude. We originally planned on taking like a week off or
it was
whatever.
1 week.
And we recorded an episode with Eddie and I, and then like,
just full on pneumonia.
Full on pneumonia. Well, no, that was the thing, was we recorded our episode, and it was great, and it was one of my favorite episodes. And then with that fucking camera turned off 20 minutes in, because we set it to MP4 last time we used it instead of MTS. But then I got full on pneumonia for like a week and a half, and it would just completely knock me out. I ran out of all my reserve videos, and then like we had a family health emergency that was pretty uncool, but luckily we're out of the woods, boys.
Dang. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
yeah,
also,
we're better.
I didn't even know pneumonia was a thing that people still got. I think that's like, it feels like an Oregon Trail, like, oh, they got pneumonia and they died.
That was, I was like,
That's
well,
crazy.
shit, it sounds so serious, too.
Were you
know?
traveling the Oregon Trail at any point
I was.
while I was back home?
I was. I was like,
just getting
damn.
dysentery, doing all the things.
Yeah, I'm going out to the Oregon Trail real quick. You need anything?
I think it's actually pronounced the Oregon Trail.
I don't give a shit.
I played a game called the Oregon Trail, as in like organs, and it was a zombie version of it.
Actually?
Whoa.
I did. That is a super cool game.
Really?
No joke. Yep.
Is it like? Does it look the same as the game, but with zombie
It
stuff?
plays the same, except it's like zombies and everything,
That's
which
cool.
is super neat.
Damn, that is interesting, actually. Is that just a PC game or what?
Yeah. I played it for a good 4 to 6 hours
Wow.
each day for the last 6 years.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Do you have like a game? Because like clearly, I don't know if you are familiar with video games,
Nope.
but like they're pretty fun. You should check them out after this.
I should try. I've been more into board games. Check it out. Hold on. I didn't wear this for this joke, I promise.
Yeah.
I can't see.
They're chess pieces.
All right.
Oh my good golly. That's actually pretty dope. Where'd you get those?
I like
I got them from a present. That's what this store is called.
From a present?
Yeah.
Wow. Like a present gave you those?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. A present gave them to me in the past, which is ironic.
Jesus Christ. Do you ever have any like games like through the years that are almost universally just reviled? People do not like them, but you're like, oh, I love that game.
Oh, well, okay. So my favorite games in the world, and you probably would share this with me because I like the worst things in the world. Like you get like the worst animations ever. You guys like those kind of things? You know, like the YouTube animations where it's a 12-year-old who's like, I found an animation program, and you're like, I love this so much because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the games that are made in like 48 hours, in like the 48-hour game jams, with like the 26-year-old who's in his basement, super bored, that's stoned, that's like, I'm gonna make this crazy thing. My favorite game of all time, I played on the show, and I love that people love it. It is a game where you are in the zombie apocalypse, and your entire goal is to get to the moon to avoid the zombie apocalypse, and your first weapon is a pie that shoots chairs.
A pie that shoots chairs?
And it just gets more ridiculous.
Why? What was the choice? Was it just like, we have these assets, let's just use them?
I have no idea.
God.
I have no idea. But it kept getting more ridiculous and like stuff like that. Because you never know what to expect. Like when you're playing an amazing game that 5,000 people worked on, it's just crafted to perfection. You're like, I get it. You know, it's like watching a 3-hour movie. You're like, you kind of know where it's going to go. Anyway, those kind of games are just like,
Oh my God. Do you have one like that?
I don't know if specifically... I have one that I think people like hated that I played. I feel like my taste in movies and music or movies and games for a lot of it is kind of just down the middle.
Yeah.
Like I usually don't even it's not like I base it off of what people are saying because I don't like reading any reviews for any games or movies before because I don't want anything spoiled. I'm like one of those people.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know if for movies I have them, but not games. I don't think. What about you?
Well, I mean, I have loved since I was a kid. You ever played Jurassic Park Trespasser?
No, but it sounds delightful already.
Dude, oh my God. It was made to coincide, excuse me, it was made to coincide with the release of The Lost World, the second movie. And it was like DreamWorks was trying to do a game studio, like
this
for
like
the first time.
1980s, something, late 80s.
Yeah, I should look it up
90s?
by Mr. PC guy here or Mac guy.
Those keys are not gonna be good.
It's gonna go. It goes boom, boom, boom.
Jason, look that up there.
Yeah. But it was like. Oh my God! It is really revolutionary, like tech-wise. It's really good. You play like this kind of Lara Croft knockoff woman.
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
That's the one.
Is that Turkish or?
No, that's how you say it. That's on.
Did
the
you
box.
get pneumonia too? Is that
I did. I was just clearing my throat. Was
I'm
happening.
so sorry to hear that. 1997. It's or 1998.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like it coincided with the release of The Lost World, and it was like a first-person survival game. And for 1998, like the graphics were not bad, but so many things in the game system were just completely broken. Like
I love it,
dude. The way because it's mouse and keyboard and stuff, so it's like the developers had it where if you click like the left mouse button, you bring up her arm. And then like you can hold down the right mouse button to rotate her hand.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. That kind of stuff is so bad.
To rotate, so because there are like really intricate things where you have to like walk up and like turn dials, and it's so not intuitive.
Oh, no.
But the thing
best.
is, they tried to set it up where it was like, oh, you use both her hands and grab stuff, but they're like, we can't fucking figure out the other hand. They couldn't figure out the other hand, so they like you wake up like out of nothing in
just missing
in
an
a
arm.
in a plane crash, and so it's like blackness, and it comes up and it's like, oh, there's a plane crash. Oh, my arm's broken.
Oh,
so
I love it. I love it.
Use one of them.
That's the best. That's like our releases tomorrow, guys. We still haven't figured out this left hand.
Break her arm.
Just break her arm. Break it, guys. Snap it. Snap it quick.
But it was like, and then too, like what I love about it is there's like no HUD at all. The only way to like tell stuff, and it's kind of cool. Like the only way to tell stuff is like she has enormous breasts.
Sure.
And you look down.
I'm listening now.
You can look right down.
Just has the controls on her. Like tattooed.
Yeah. No, she has a heart tattoo on her right breast.
I love it.
And depending on the amount of damage that you have, because you slowly get better,
changes.
it changes to be like more strangled or whatever. So
See, like, I
to
like
check
the
your health.
tattoo thing, but the fact that it's there, I'm like, I don't like
They're
it.
like, where else do we put it? We already killed one of the arms.
That's so
We're
funny.
running out of real estate on the body.
But it's like literally you're getting chased by dinos and you're like, fuck, you have to look at your
down
tits.
real quick.
You have to do that.
Holy shit.
But then one thing is cool is like there's weapons everywhere and stuff, you know. So like you can pick up guns, and the way to tell you never know how many bullets you have.
Sure.
And there's tons of them, like pistols and assault rifles,
yeah.
everything. And she'll be like, feels about half. she'll say that like, I don't know, seems full. So it's really interesting because she's not checking.
Sure.
But like, and the dinos are like kind of stupid with the AI, but it's fucking fun because the danger feels so real, and I just loved it when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
I love it.
I love that. Like, oh, guess my arm's broken.
Yeah.
Like, there's that logic. It sounds like game designers that didn't design any games.
Yeah.
They were given this task. They're like interns who are at this place. They're like, we got to make a game or something. I don't know, something to promote the thing. I'll take it. And then that's awesome.
It just slipped through the cracks, and they put it out, and it was an enormous financial failure. Nobody bought it.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, like, even
the arm.
It was the arm. People want 2-arm games.
They marketed 2 arms, and once the embargo.
No, it was like, because at the time too, it was. I'm talking way too much about this one, but at the time, most of the computers that were available on the market could not even run this on the lowest graphical settings.
Everything about this game sounds amazing.
It was a disaster. Yeah. So like people bought it and they're like, I can't even do it on low graphic, like anything.
And so they're like, just give it 10 years. You can play our game. We're ahead of our time.
That was it.
That was maybe is that it didn't run on any computers with the second arm. And then
we're like, we had to cut some of the CPU power, man. Cut one of the arms. Okay, good. We saved about 25% of RAM there.
It went from a 10 gig install to like a 300 megabyte.
Just so much detail on that one arm.
It was photorealistic compared to the rest of her body.
One was 4K and the other was 240p.
I think back to some of the stuff because you're saying when you were young.
Yeah.
I miss when I was a kid and games didn't like you couldn't see any of the scenes as a kid where you're like this is just a different world and I don't know how it works at all. Like I used to when I was really little, I think I was like 5 when I was playing PS2, and I thought that like that a video game was on the disc was just a bunch of pictures of all of the possibilities of things you could do.
Right.
And it was just playing it.
Yep.
So it was like, oh, I click X and then it just kind of plays a video for it. And then I found out how they worked. I'm like, I'm dumb. I'm a dumb kid.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Still though, it's just like I one of the things one game that did it recently for me like it did when I was a kid was Breath of the Wild. Is it had that kind of like I don't really know what the rules are here.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that a lot.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Because I promised my girlfriend we'd play together, and then one night at 4 a.m. I was like, I'm really feeling a Breath of the Wild right now.
Oh,
and then I played for 2 hours, and then she's like, I feel like I heard Breath of the Wild out there. I was like, no, must have been the neighbors.
It's like like she's waiting up in the armchair.
Literally.
Lamp on.
She's trying to like do the spin around, but there's no spin, so it's just like.
Parker, what's that Joy-Con doing in your hand?
Nothing.
I was playing Mario Party.
It's a Wiimote.
I have one of those with the bad game things for movies. This is such a weird one. I kind of made a meme about it on Twitter last year. Is Fred Claus is a good movie? I'll die for this.
Is that like Fred is in like, hey, it's Fred, like that guy?
That's it. It's the fourth.
It's the fourth
Fred
movie. I have a story after this that I want to share with you.
I do
about Fred.
It's Fred Claus is the movie where Vince Vaughn is Santa Claus's brother, and he like hates him. Because like the idea behind it was when somebody gets sainthood like Santa does, the rest of the family becomes immortal with him. So he's just got to live his life.
That sounds like the worst. Does it include in-laws and everything else?
It includes their parents who he feels like he's a shittier brother because his brother's Santa Claus.
I see.
So it's kind of just a movie about having your brother be like this big shot and being like the lesser brother in other people's eyes.
Yeah.
But it goes really good with the plot of the movie where he like fucks something up for Santa, and there's like some committee. It's a kids movie, so it's like some committee that runs holidays like a business, and they're looking to shut down Christmas. And shit, Kevin Spacey is like the guy looking to shut it down, and he clearly wants to like shut down Christmas.
Yeah,
and you learn that it was like he didn't get the gift he wanted, but he like really beautifully acts it where he talks about how he was bullied in school and he wanted this Superman cape so he could feel like a hero and he never got it. And like the whole plot of the movie is basically turning from that brother thing to going like, hey, bad kids aren't bad because they're just inherently bad and they probably deserve a gift on Christmas because they're sad. And then like it was actually
it
like,
humanizes some of their experience.
And the movie has like a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I watched it and I was like, this is fucking good.
You just end the movie crying. You're just like, it's a great time.
What's the Rotten Tomato score? I don't understand.
You like call up your hie school bully. You're like, I'm so sorry. He's like, die. You're like, okay.
Did you see Fred Claus? Yeah. There is a moment that does need the Rotten Tomato score for it, and that's when he has a dance party with the elves, and the elf DJ is Ludacris. That's real. And then
it's like 7 minutes too long.
Yeah, kind of. And they throw him in a closet because he doesn't want to play Elvis, I think, and he wants to play holiday music. Other than that part, though, that movie's pretty good.
That does sound like the plot that someone would write for one of those kind of movies.
Yeah. You know what absolutely shocks me? I looked it up here. This was in 2007. They gave it a budget of $100 million for Fred Claus.
Yeah.
And it didn't even make that back at the box office.
What did it make?
97. So
I was part of that. I saw it in theaters. I'm not kidding.
It's on theaters 7 times.
Damn, dude.
You couldn't tell 12-year-old me to not go see a Vince Vaughn movie. I was going for it.
Did you ever have Movie Pass?
Oh yeah, I still have Movie Pass.
Really?
Movie Pass. Yep. And I have a segue here that I'd like to get into.
Please do.
Okay. I mentioned earlier about a little Amazon conversation I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is this is very controversial here. Amazon just has been very well known publicly to very much underpay their employees, and especially people that are shipping out products, yada yada. So with Movie Pass, right? So they're losing money right now because so if someone buys Movie Pass, they get 1 movie for free. If they get 2 movies, Movie Pass loses money there because you pay a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Right. So the overall, I think they calculated it, it's about everyone that has Movie Pass goes to a movie and a half, which means that they lose $5 per person that has Movie Pass per month, which is crazy. They're losing millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is it seems that they are making it harder and harder to want to go to movies with Movie Pass to lower that amount of average, movies per person. So that if it's 0.9 instead of a 1, then they make money, right? So it's interesting with Amazon how, this is where it gets corkboardish. This is where it's got get my little hat on, you know what I mean? My little styrofoam hat. So I think, in my personal opinion, it's in a way our fault as the customers for having Amazon Prime and then purchasing so many items for free because we don't pay shipping, right? And the amount, it doesn't cost a whole lot more to buy a product on Amazon Prime. I buy so much on there. So that means that with the amount of products that you are ordering on Amazon Prime, Amazon has to take the shipping cost and eat it, essentially. So the more products you buy, the more Amazon employees have to work and ship out products per day to make that number make sense financially. Otherwise, they're just going to lose so much money, it makes it interesting because they can't keep paying all these people this much money while also having everything be free and cost crazy, cost nothing, right?
I have a question for your conspiracy then, and it's honestly, it's feeding it. It's not. I'm not against it. Is every time I have Amazon Prime, whenever I give my free Twitch Prime sub to somebody, am I adding $5 to the problem?
Well, technically,
because it goes to somebody. They
does.
Get it. They cash it in.
It does. Yeah. Now, I think it depends on the person because some people get $2.50, some people get $4, whatever it is. It's not a full $5. But yes, every time you do that, it doesn't cost you money, which means it has to cost money to the company or time from employees that the company has hired.
So that's even added on. Everybody using Twitch Prime is adding to the problem as well.
Now, this is not to say that it's okay to underpay employees and stuff like it's reported where they weren't allowed to have bathroom breaks. They're increasing their productivity so much to where people are peeing in bottles working there, which is crazy. Yeah. So I don't condone that. I don't think it's okay and everything else. I just find it interesting how everyone's okay with all the free shipping they want to and they'll buy it all day. But then all of a sudden, when they find out how they get free shipping is from very, very inexpensive labor, they freak out. So I don't condone it at all. It just is interesting how people don't make that correlation.
No, that's a good point. One thing, too, that I would try to be mindful of, and I kind of caught myself when we were moving in and we just had to make so many dumb house purchase things. One thing I was like, I would do things like I would order 3 bundles of stuff I'm going to order a coffee table and a rug at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And then at 4 p.m. I'll be like, we should get some end tables too. That kind of shit where it's in 24 hours I sent 3 separate orders. That's fucking horrible. So now I've been trying to think okay, I need to get some stuff. I'm going to wait till the end of the week and I'm going to just get it all at once.
I feel you.
To try to just cut down even the littlest bit on shipping stuff.
But and that way it's kind of all together so it's not because then they have to pay for the drivers, they have to pay for the driver's time, the gas, everything else. It's just crazy. The business model is pretty nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see, and obviously Amazon can afford it because they're the biggest company right now. I think they're valued at $1 trillion or close to, which is just nuts, man.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's Amazon's gonna. It's weird. It seemed like it might be a different company before. Like if you go back, maybe even like 6 or 7 years, public opinion was like maybe Google will be that big company that takes over. Maybe it's Walmart, and now it's clear. It's like it's Amazon is gonna have like Amazon cars, and like everything you do might be Amazon in like 20 years.
It's amazing how fast that they're innovating with everything. I am curious to see how they take it over, because obviously they've taken over the space of buying products. Everything's so cheap. Everything's free shipping, and most importantly, no one can beat Amazon shipping. It's so fast, so fast. I don't know how they do it, except they have their own stuff that does their own shipping. So it's like they've won the monopoly. So at this point, I believe now either they're gonna milk everybody dry and cut all the expenses and yada yada, make all the money they can, or this is where they start increasing everybody's pay and start increasing the amount it costs and everything else. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious because they're huge. They're everywhere. They've done it.
You're right, totally. It's the company's worth over $1 trillion. Even just Jeff Bezos, the CEO, is worth over
$190 million.
Yes, he's over
$190 billion. Billion dollars.
Like, holy! What do you do at that point? Like,
I just don't get. Even the idea. I mean, Bezos. When I've seen him say stuff publicly, he doesn't seem like a psycho. But I feel like you have to be. It seems like his drive isn't to get more money from what he says publicly, at least.
Right, yeah.
But you see people going into the billions, and it's like, what's the, just quit.
Right.
Just do something else.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I hear you there. Now, he doesn't have $191 billion
no,
in
yeah,
cash.
He's
worth that because his cut in Amazon is worth that.
Yeah.
I'm interested. Like right now, I mean, this could be a PR thing, but he's still giving the money. Is that he's doing this $2 billion to building this charity, which is amazing. $2 billion is a lot of money.
Yes.
So I wonder if he's like one, right? So he's built up his empire. He's making this thing. He has this overarching company, and this is where he starts actually making a difference because his power.
Bill Gates did.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Bill Gates is a wonderful man.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has done some incredible. I love that guy is like. He was I think he was the richest man for a long time until Jeff Bezos took it over.
I think before that it was like some. Phone company guy, not like AT&T or something.
Yeah, wasn't it like a Mexican phone provider guy?
Yeah, it was like I forgot the name of it, but they even had advertising in the U.S. and I remember being like, "What the fuck is this company?" And they were like, "Yeah, he's the richest person in the world." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But he was definitely you were saying something about
right. So I'm really hoping that with the power that he has and just like his mind, because he just takes over industries so easily and just owns them. Like he's now making amazing. Well, Amazon is making incredible like shows and movies now like that are winning Oscars.
Yeah.
Amazon, the place that used to ship books, is winning Oscar movies. What?
Yeah.
That's
crazy. So like I'm just very curious to see what they end up doing with that kind of power.
That's a good point too. And I can't find the article or something that I was looking at too. Because we were talking about like billionaires, where I agree with you, Eddie, when you're like, you can't really get to that level without having some element of like being kind of fucked up or whatever, too. But I would say that like, despite me having that opinion, it's good that some of these billionaires, like maybe a Jeff Bezos, I don't fucking know, maybe an Elon Musk, where it's like, if they're not just super evil, like they can throw a lot of money and help a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with that. Like
by calling them psychos, I'm not saying they're the worst people.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's something up.
Yeah. No. Well, I've talked to some people too that have said the phrase like there are no good billionaires. But I'm like, well, I think there's maybe some badness to everybody, but like,
well, I mean, here's the thing.
There's a lot of bad shit, but you could still do a lot with money.
There's almost no way in a business where you can't take money into your business and make profit without using someone else to make you that money.
Yes.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
So you have to rationalize that in whatever way you can, and there's a lot of ways to do that really, really well and do it in a way where everyone is built up and supported there. And I think that's amazing, and that's how teams are built with businesses. But yeah, to make billions of dollars, it means you have to technically use a lot of people's time to make you that money. So like that, in a way, you have to have a different kind of mindset to do that. So anyway, I'm just very excited to see like what he does.
Yeah, because the wealth is not evenly distributed in a company like at all, too. And like you mentioned Jeff Bezos, like the working conditions are fucking shit. They need to improve and stuff. I mean, even Elon Musk, what has he been like union busting and stuff forever at Tesla and like SpaceX and stuff, where it's like that kind of shit. Like, come on, dog, you know? And I know when you get to be the CEO, like, theoretically, you can't just, like, be like, I'm worth $50 billion. Let me just evenly disperse it amongst my employees. I know you can't do that, but still, it's like, dude, come on. You can't be just, like, wringing dry, like, the lower middle class and stuff.
Do you think the uneven distribution of bathroom breaks, like Jeff Bezos has 1 billion bathroom breaks? He's just like, they're like, come on, man, I got to pee.
You go talk to him in his office, and he just has a constant catheter.
Yeah, exactly, right?
What's up, fucking piss peasant?
He has like a little
bathrooms.
counter. That's so funny.
Yeah, he walks up even to like the VP. What's up? I just pissed 3 times. I was on a phone call too. Did some business.
I'm peeing right now. What do you want?
I love that idea of a CEO, like just going up and bullying people about bathroom breaks.
I googled Warren Buffett and like the third image. I googled Warren Buffett net worth and the very first image result.
I'm so scared. I've seen
fucking holding a DQ Blizzard.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
It's not falling out. It passed the test.
That is a guy that doesn't care.
Like, here, this is $1 billion idea.
That's so funny.
That, by the way, that Blizzard thing annoys me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's because when you're like, it's a nice thing to think of like, oh, we flip every Blizzard. It's Blizzards, right? That they do it with to make sure that it's solid enough. But then like when you hold your hand out to grab an ice cream, they're like, first. Here you go.
And it's a 16-year-old that hates his life and job, and he's like,
Voop.
Yeah.
What are some?
I'm sure they come out sometimes.
I'm sure they do.
That's
you get a
hilarious.
free one if they do.
That's
a
funny,
company
though.
thing. Yeah.
Well, what if they get it on you then, like your shoes and stuff? What happens there? There's a dumb policy to have.
that's $7 billion lawsuit right there.
I like going in there insisting that they do that with my soft drinks. Fucking tip that Pepsi, boys.
I wonder how many times they hear that. I wonder how many times a day they hear that.
Yeah, just that dumb joke. Could you do that to my Coke?
Yeah, Coke too?
Bet you never hear that. I hate. Cause like, did you ever work in food service at all, or like?
I worked
at
a Halloween store, but that was the only like
a
real
pop-up
job.
Halloween store. Yeah. So like for like a couple months, or did you do it?
It was
like
a couple
yearly?
months.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, still, that's customer service.
Yeah,
too.
of
I
course.
believe that everybody should work in customer service in their life.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it gives you some serious perspective.
Oh God, yes.
On respect.
Just my patience level too, like especially because I worked mostly in like the food industry, like in restaurants at my college, like cafeteria and shit like that. And it just makes you so much more patient. You go out to eat and you're like, hey, it'll be another 20 minutes. Like it's okay.
Yeah,
They're probably busy back there.
Also,
like,
it's also not the person's fault. The people that are telling you, sorry, it's 20 minutes, are the ones that have to get it all the anger onto them. And it's like, dude, I'm just taking food out, man. Like, I don't control when it comes out.
I think it might be because also we're closer to that age of working. Because if you're ahead of where you're with one of your parents out to eat and they're starting to get like a little bit of attitude toward it, like,
oh, dude,
and you're
middle-aged people.
Can you stop, please? Oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah, middle-aged people, I can't do it. Like friends' parents and stuff. Like they go out to restaurants and they're just like, this is my night out, and if everything doesn't go perfectly to plan, I'm gonna hit somebody.
Yes.
Like, it's horrible.
Yes.
But I hate when like, because like the DQ has the upside down Blizzard stuff. I hate when you go to like a fast food place or a restaurant thing and they have their gimmick, you know, and it's just like, dude, these people are working their asses off. Like, don't make them do this degrading shit. Like, I hate stuff like the Arby's bell. You ever go to an Arby's?
Oh no.
They have a big bell. I don't know if it's a Midwestern thing, but there's like,
sounds like a bit somebody made up about Arby's.
The Arby's
there's a big bell by the like door when you leave, and everyone just goes and rings it. And all the staff has to go, hey, or like, thank you. So of course you have the asshole kids all day. They're just going, ding, hey. Like that kind of stuff is like, dude, fuck you. You're not paying these people enough to like participate in your dumb gimmick. That's
my least favorite thing in the world is happy birthdays at restaurants.
Oh yeah.
God damn.
Don't sing happy birthday to people at restaurants. It annoys everybody. I don't know. There's never been a situation where I've been with friends and it's their birthday where I'm like, you know what I would love right now? I want a bunch of people that don't like me or know me to come around and weirdly sing in their own version because happy birthday isn't allowed or whatever it wasn't. Their own version of happy birthday. I'm just like, no thanks.
Gets me going,
I
dog.
stopped happy birthdays for me with my family completely.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I like 2 years ago because I have a fraternal twin brother and we both hate that kind of attention stuff. I hate when people watch me open a gift because even though I might like the gift, I don't like the. You just start with like, God.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I just can't. I don't blink the entire time.
That's amazing.
But I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. They like were getting ready to sing, and me and my brother were just like, let's just not do it.
Yeah.
Let's just be done with this.
Yep.
Good.
Because I don't like it.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no one likes singing too.
No.
No one likes singing Happy Birthday.
I hate it.
It takes half the song for people to find the right tempo and key.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. It always lasts way too long.
I love in The Office the Survivor Man episode where they're singing and Michael's like, find a key, find a key. He's fucking yelling.
What episode is it when they're on the? It's I think when they're coming back from the beach and they're singing on the bus and you can hear just Michael just screaming almost the song.
Is this the higher octave?
Yeah, well, okay, with food service stuff too, I've been exposed more to Postmates since I've come out here.
Oh, you're talking about the thing?
I want you to tell that story. Yeah, that's a banger.
Well, okay. As you said that, the story just like completely left my brain. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, I know. I got it back.
Yeah.
So
you just start the story like this one time when I was 12.
It's gone. A Postmate story when you were 12? No. But yeah, I had a guy call me. I was getting which for people that don't know, just a sandwich chain.
Yeah.
And it's close to here, and I just ordered my food, and then it was taking a while to get there, and I get a call from it's a Postmates call usually because it's not a California number, and you're like, okay, it's somebody that moved here that's working for Postmates, and I answer it, and I'm not doing an accent for him. He had some kind of accent. I couldn't even peg down what it was, but he just was like, hey, did you order food? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm at your address. I don't have your food. And I was like, what? And he's just like, I'm at your address. I don't have your food, but I'm at your address. And I was just like, I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. And he just goes, yeah. Oh, I can't say that. He said like a street near here and a building. And then said the floor of the building, and then said, I gave your food to them.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay. Because, I mean, the first thing would be, I would assume, if I was in a situation, call me, apologize, him to cancel the order and say, I'm so sorry.
I gave the food to the wrong person.
Yeah, talk to Postmates.
Mistake.
They'll give you, credit or something like that. But he didn't do that. He just, I
don't have your food, man.
Yeah, his attitude was kind of like, hey, man, what do you think I should do? He didn't say it, but that was, kind of how he was going, I just don't have your food. So I was just like, I don't know what to do here. And he goes, I'm going to go get it back. And I was like, what?
It's a big old bite out of the burrito.
Yeah. So he hung up, and then I was like...
like he's on a mission, dude. He put up his glasses. I'm going to go get it back.
Yeah. So he goes, or he hangs up, and then I'm just confused, because I'm thinking, well, either way, I'm going to contact Postmates just to get some credit for this.
Sure.
Because I was like, what's going to happen is, he gave free food to somebody, and it sounded like it was an office building. Somebody's going to eat that food. So even if he brought it back, somebody touched my food no matter what. And I have no idea
and then
if they did or not.
You don't know if they did or not. Exactly. Yeah.
So I wait maybe 10 minutes and I'm like, man, it's taking a long time for an update. And I look and he's also on a bike trying to go back to get the food and then bring it back. So that's 3 total trips, 3 times the amount of time it would just take to deliver the food if he got it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to contact Postmates, but I want to wait it out and see because this is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So he just ends the order and charges me. And so I called his phone number, and he hung up the phone. Didn't answer, just hung it up right away.
Sure.
Called it again, hung it up right away.
I don't know who you are.
So actually, Postmates was great, and they gave me credit for it. But I just couldn't believe that he was just like,
crazy.
I'm gonna go get that food back.
Yeah.
And and then when he charged me too, I was like, all right,
that's nuts.
I'm sure they have the power to cancel an order.
Yeah.
But he was just he went there. It seemed like he got to the building from the GPS on it. So he probably got there, found out it was eaten, and just went I'm just going to charge it.
Yeah. What is he going to do? Is he going to find me?
Yeah. That's the thing. That's what happened with that. It was totally bizarre. I'm also having people call here. Our apartment number is in the Postmates address thing.
Sure.
So people bring it to the door all the time.
Yep.
But a couple times I'll have people call and just be like, hey, I'm out in the street.
Yeah.
And I'll be literally in the middle of the street.
It's good, you're almost here.
I could die.
Keep almost delivered my food.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Can't wait to see you soon at my door.
And I even had one yesterday who she's like, yeah, I'm here. And I was like, okay, did the security let you in? They should let you in. And then she's like, no, I'm out on, she said, our street. And I was like, was the apartment number not listed on Postmates? And immediately she goes, no, it wasn't. And I'm like, that's weird because all of my Postmates orders come here. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I just checked. It is here. I'm on my way. And it's like, you were just trying to get me to come out to the street.
See, it's like I'm slapping an asterisk onto my little thing about, slapping asterisks. That's how we be. Like, onto my, like, give patience to, like, food service workers things. Because there are situations like your Postmates thing where it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That's like a checklist of, like, dumb thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
Do you want to hear my favorite Postmates?
Please do.
Yes,
it.
I love this.
It's a very similar situation. And this has happened to us 3 times.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
3 times. So we love boba. Okay, so my girlfriend, Shelby, she loves boba.
Yeah.
Right? That's her favorite thing. So occasionally, I'll just order boba as a little surprise. 3 times now, a guy has come to our door, hands us a straw of the boba. And I was like, do you have the drink? He's like, nope. What? And I was like, oh, so I paid you to bring a straw here? Like, you don't think, like, maybe that... 3 times it's happened.
How does that happen?
I have no idea.
Are they different people? Is it the same boba place?
Different people.
Is it in a
same
bag?
boba place, which is interesting. One of them wasn't. It was just like in a bag was a straw. Like I ordered food, so they brought food.
Yeah.
Right, but like you think big boba straw. I'm not gonna suck a burrito out of a boba straw.
You could though. Those are dirty.
That's true, but it's crazy. They'll put a straw in there and just not bring the drink. I just think it's crazy to me.
What? I don't even know
That's
how to
so bizarre.
explain that or rationalize.
Yeah, like, oh, you have a drink? Nope.
Oh.
I'm trying to think, would it be the place then when they prepare the order? They just don't put it. But then again, to like
it's
have
not
straw-
100% like the Postmates' fault because they just pick up whatever.
No, but still, I'm not even defending them because they handed you a straw.
Yeah.
So it's just so bizarre to me.
I don't get that because there are some weird things though, like format-wise, where it seems like a pretty common oversight on Postmates, where it's like because you have to like specifically select every option.
Yeah.
We order a lot of Taco Bell here and stuff, and the default for like almost any taco or anything is like choose your protein. Beans.
Yeah,
it's like fucking beans.
I don't want beans.
Yeah, I want meat.
I want meat.
God damn it.
Or like meat.
Yeah. You know, Taco Bell has legally the smallest amount of meat in their meat to be able to call it meat.
Which is crazy because it's like 60-something%. I don't want to say that's fact, but like it's lower than you would expect. Where you're like,
what's the rest?
That's so little meat. In your meat.
I don't know what it is specifically for the meat Taco Bell thing, but it doesn't stop me from eating Taco Bell.
Me neither.
Enjoying it at all. I don't know what it is. Like, that should be an issue. I think it's just like a low level of, or a high level of people disrespecting me in a way of like, when you're even talking about like servers doing bad stuff, I just don't say stuff much. So like, it's like, our meat's not, 60% meat. And I'm just like, okay, I like the taste of your tacos. So I guess I'll have that.
It's 60% meat. It's like, okay, I'll take 3 then, please.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's almost 200%.
Exactly.
Excuse me. So I want to ask you, Parker. So you are a big video game boy YouTuber fan. Or fam, I meant to say, sorry.
Hashtag famlit dabs.
Thank God. How long have you been doing that?
Views of the podcast. That's a good
Can we
move.
put that in the tags?
The hashtag ParkerGames.com/dab.
Damn, dude.
That's it.
That's where my merch is, actually.
Tony, put that in the tags. How long have you been doing that for, like, YouTube stuff?
I've been doing YouTube. Well, like, I found a camera. It was my mom's camera. It didn't even have a screen that like you could see. It was like a black screen. So I just like click the record button and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And I didn't record most of it. I started when I was like 11 or 12. And I made like a video called I Suck at Skateboarding. I grew up in like the perfect generation of like that was my television. Like I had YouTube when I was at that age where I was gonna watch a bunch of stuff. So like I grew up with YouTube. That's what I watched all the time. Like Vlogbrothers and Tobuscus and like Wheezy Waiter and like all these kind of people. Dan Bull or not Dan Bull. But yes, I watch him now. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then later on I found gaming YouTubers, which I kind of fell in love with. I played a game called the RuneScape for way too many years. I don't know if you ever played RuneScape.
Oh, I love
RuneScape.
dude. Yeah, RuneScape was
It's a banger.
Banger. So I played that bad boy for 10 years, and so
That's a lot longer than I played. Yeah,
I've clocked over 250 days of gameplay.
In RuneScape?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
How many hours is that?
That is almost that's over 10,000 hours. It's almost a full year of my life. That's just in game time.
How many days?
Wow. 250 days.
250 days. So hours. That's Jesus. That's 6,000 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, you know what? If I'm spending all this time, I might as well record it. And so I started recording gaming videos, and that's kind of how I got my start.
Yeah.
And then, a bunch of things led to it, and then I did that full time it's been like 5 years full time, I guess.
Damn, dude.
That's great. I think because we were like that too with like having YouTube as an option, when we
Sure.
were younger. And I think it kind of doesn't get, like, I feel like older YouTubers don't get the respect they deserve of teaching us lessons of like, yeah, I've learned so much of like what to do and what not to do with like YouTube channels and stuff, just because people before us were testing it out and just trying to figure shit out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. They were the Oregon Trail that like bent the ways, and then we're the gold diggers that are like, ooh, there's a pathway I can go down here.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So like you got your show on Disney XD now, right? And it's a lot of like you are like gaming, let's play stuff, but on a way higher like editing and technical level, it seems too.
It is a let's play channel, but with actual like a budget and a team of amazing people.
Yeah. How is that different? Like what's the biggest difference then, I guess, from your process then?
Biggest difference, I think, is, and there's always good and bad sides to both of these. Yeah. And it's like do you guys ever do plays growing up?
Yeah,
theater.
Yes. We can talk about that in a bit because I do want to talk.
Let's do that. So, like, the difference to me in theater versus plays is theaters, you have so many people working on one thing. It's bigger. You have each performance takes time, whatever. And then with movies or TV, it's like you got a couple of takes, and then it's done. So I compare that on a different scale to YouTube, right? Because if I have an idea, by the end of that day, I can then upload it to YouTube and edit it, and everything's done. Mm-hmm. And with this, it's like we have 2 months of pre-production to prepare everything. We have writers and everything else. Then we film all our stuff, and that goes to editors, and that goes to these writers, and we have pickups, and these go. So like the time it takes is just so much different.
Yeah.
To where like the same episode I could do on the YouTube channel would then take 3.5 months. But a lot of tweaking happens, and a lot of crafting and perfection happens.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it a much better product, is that fine tuning of each person that takes a little chisel at it. But yeah, it's a very different experience of getting a product done. What's weird to me is that the satisfaction, everyone, because like that's cool, like that was my dream growing up. I always wanted to be on TV. Disney's amazing, and gaming, like it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
But I never had that moment where I was like, dude. Yeah. Dude, because it happens so slowly.
Yeah.
And like I am so proud of what we've made and each episode and each segment and each video and everything else, but there's nothing that beats the satisfaction of having an idea and uploading it the same day.
Yeah.
Of YouTube.
That's true.
That's what's very different to me.
Yeah. I could not do that. My shit is so short that I'm just like, it's literally like that. Like I can wake up in the morning and be like, oh, this would be funny.
Yep.
I'll put it out tonight. Yeah, that was funny. All right, what should I do tomorrow,
And I think having that mix of both, because there's no reason why you can't do both.
Yeah.
Well, until you go crazy, but so it's I think having those two options are amazing, and the fact that on YouTube, big celebrities and big people like Will Smith is doing a lot of content on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
It's not half-assed. Like he's doing it.
He's putting
all
a
in
lot of work.
I respect that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that. I remember like initially. I'm curious to hear your thoughts too, because what was it like a few years ago where they started doing kind of like with their YouTube Rewind, especially. It was like, half the people we're pushing are like traditional media stars.
Right.
The Rock's YouTube channel didn't feel personal.
No,
from what I saw,
it was a production company.
Yeah, and I mean, like even the Will Smith thing, like I give full fucking props to him, like if he's like really going and doing it well and stuff too. And I don't want to sound elitist or whatever, but it's like if you're going to do YouTube Rewind, like don't put like Will Smith and The Rock and Colbert in here. It's like that's fine, they have their thing. This is kind of like people. This is different.
It's
you know what I mean?
Community is what
I don't know.
It's the people that how do I make a comparison? Like it's the Oregon Trail comparison of these people. There's so many Oregon Trail references. But like the YouTubers are what's like just paved the way for everybody. And then what people do, they notice trends, and these people that made it on other platforms are like, that's a place I should spend my time. That actually has eyeballs and has some value, and they hop on the bandwagon, and then they get the attention because they already have this presence. So I think the people that are the YouTubers that create that foundation should absolutely get the respect for paving the way as like the originals.
Yeah, like I'm like, dude, if you're doing traditional media stuff, of course come on over here. But when it's like, hey, here's YouTube Rewind, like this is the community or whatever. Hey, we can get Colbert. It's like, I like Colbert too, but he doesn't belong in YouTube Rewind. That doesn't make sense.
Here's something interesting. So I have been very I've dedicated myself this last like 6 months to just like digital content and YouTube in general, and just like learning as much as I can because the world has changed. I was doing daily content 2 years ago, but then now when I try to do it again, it's like the scaling is different, and just like the way that you grow and like your audience, how you reach your audience is just a whole different thing. It's a whole different world. And so I've listened to podcasts and researching and yada yada, and I think it's the chief business officer did an interview with Casper Lee where he just talks about questions, and Casper Lee really laid down some hard questions.
Yeah.
Things like the trending page on YouTube has so many YouTube videos that aren't even really YouTube. It's Jimmy Fallon, it's trailers, it's Vivo, it's music videos.
I think it's at its worst right now. Even like 6 months ago,
right.
There was still like a little bit of YouTube left, but right now I don't even look at it anymore.
It's no YouTube. So here's what's interesting to me, and this was their reason for doing it, which I get, but it's also a little frustrating. Is that I think the number they gave was they have 1.9 billion people on YouTube, right? But that's still a lot of people that aren't on YouTube. So if they're looking to capture a new person to be invested in their platform, how are they going to get somebody? They're going to show them something familiar. So when they hit the trending page, it's like, oh, I know Jimmy Fallon, I know this, I know that, I know this. They start clicking, and all of a sudden, a month down the line, they're in the rabbit hole of YouTube, and they get it. They understand the inside jokes that wouldn't really make sense to most people that don't really know YouTube yet. So that made sense to me, but it also feels like they are throwing away their culture of what they've created on YouTube as a platform. They are trying to create a culture that is outside of the culture that already exists, because they made the platform, and the audience and the YouTubers are what created what exists there.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a good transition, and it seems like it's weighting way too heavily in favor of like, oh, here's like late night talk shows, and like you said, all that same shit.
There's also a weird split between the actual community, I think, which is understandable, and I don't know how you would handle it other than the way YouTube has, but it's just this kind of like unfortunate result of it, is that there are brand friendly people that they can put in stuff, and then not brand friendly people, but a lot of those people talk to each other because they're part of the community. And it's weird where it's like something like YouTube Rewind, where you see a bunch of people that are friends with other YouTubers you watch, but like none of that other group can even be invited to YouTube Rewind because of stuff. And I'm not even like, oh, they should be. I don't know what you would do as a company like YouTube, because those moves are like specific, and people freak out of having like one person that said something once in one big video of like 300 people, and they'll be like, how dare you do this, So it's just weird where like the public YouTube community of who they push, there's like a whole under community of like adults watching that those YouTubers don't get pushed at all. You know what I mean?
Like hundreds of millions of people's worth, like that are collectively watching these weird like other things that are not brand friendly. They're not pushed to the front. Yeah, it's just so strange.
It's like their washed version. It's like, here's what we want you to think YouTube is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then what actually YouTube is this giant monster that the company's trying to put a rope around and be like, no, but you need to come this way with us. And then they're like, no, but we do some real weird stuff over here, though. And that has a crazy audience.
And I don't think that it's inherently bad to be in either camp, too. Like, if you're doing brand-friendly shit and, like, go for it. Of course. Yeah, I didn't get that impression at all. But, like, I just wonder, too, because, like, I've had pockets where, like, I was, like, really on trending a lot, too, and stuff, too. So I owe a lot to, like, YouTube just randomly being like, yeah, you go, But I wonder, too, if I were, like, invited to a YouTube Rewind, I don't think I would be. I think I've associated with too much meme shit, But if I were invited, I almost kind of wouldn't want to go.
Yeah, maybe, I don't think I would if I was invited.
Because I kind of like, I gravitate more towards that kind of underground, like, hey, look at these guys just fucking around.
Right.
Like, you won't see H3 on a billboard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of do like for Liza is it seemed like most of the people YouTube would advertise didn't do even a form of comedy at all. Like some did kind of, but a lot of like comedy YouTubers didn't get pushed in any way. And then Liza's one where they're like, oh, we can actually like show her to everybody and not have know some jokes be like, whoa, people can't look at that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
They're the brandest of the friendliest.
That's so true, yeah.
I have a question for both of you, and I don't think we asked this on the podcast before, Gus, so I don't think I know your answer. How many failed YouTube channels did you guys have before this?
Ooh, nice question. That's a good question. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know if I want to see the names of them because they still exist. Oh, man.
I privatized all of mine. I have the footage, wonderful. But I privatized them.
I'm going to say 4 YouTube channels.
That might be mine as well.
I think mine's 3 or 4, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
What kind of stuff was it? What was your early
stuff? The very early stuff, oh, man. It's so early. Man, it's okay. You can find it.
Yes.
It's so early that cheese is in the name of the YouTube channel, and it was spelled wrong accidentally.
Yeah.
Okay.
CHEASE.
Oh my God! I was gonna guess that. I was gonna guess that you throw an A in there.
I didn't know it was misspelled until like 6 months into making YouTube videos.
No.
People thought it was like a joke that I was doing, and I would do like skits and that kind of thing. I did. Oh man, I felt so bad for my friend. This is when, and this will date the YouTube channel. Was it the cinnamon challenge?
Oh yeah,
was killing it, right?
Oh yeah.
And so we did the cinnamon challenge. My friend, midway through the cinnamon challenge, found out that he's allergic to cinnamon.
Oh my God.
As he coughs, closes his mouth to stop the cough to try to win the challenge, and just shoots out his nose just like a ton of cinnamon.
Oh no.
So it's just all in his sinuses, all in his mouth, and then he's found out he's allergic, so everything's swelling up and he's throwing up, and he's the worst experience ever. And I always thought it was hilarious because I'm just like, this is the best cinnamon challenge ever.
Think of the views.
Oh, exactly. And then I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for this guy.
Yeah.
Like, this was the worst thing ever. Thinking like this is normal. This is what happens to everybody. So that kind of stuff, which my mom later was like, and she did it very sweetly because she's always been so part of my career. She's like, she knows all my YouTube friends. She's watched all of my videos. She's the biggest fan. I love her. And she's like, very sweetly, like, maybe when you, because I wanted to be an actor. She's like, maybe when you go to like agents and managers, they might look you up. Do you think that they'll want to see that video?
Yeah.
And I was like, fine. I deleted all of my videos. But now looking back, I'm like, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I felt so bad.
What else did you do? Do you have other channel stuff? Or?
I did. I had a vlogging channel.
Really?
I did when I was 15, which is the most awkward thing, but it's great.
It's when everybody's life is the most interesting it could possibly be when
Exactly.
you're 15.
Oh, absolutely. It was on the way to LA. I was moving to LA to like pursue acting, and I was like, I'm gonna start vlogging. This is gonna be big. This is gonna be big. But the vlogs are so bad. They're wonderfully so bad. I met Jay Leno, which was a great moment. He was on the streets. One of my first nights in LA. He was doing one of his like Jay Leno street talks.
The jaywalking or
whatever?
whatever?
The jaywalking,
Yeah.
right. And so I thought it'd be a great idea to go up and like see if he'd be in the video. And it was, cheese. So I called everyone cheese fans. My audience.
Right.
Pretty good right there. And so I'm like, I'm going to have him say cheese fans, hey cheese fans, which he did. And then I was like, all right, I'm here with Jay Leno in Orlando, Florida. We were in LA. I don't know where I got Orlando, Florida from.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Orlando, Florida. And then I just like absolutely peed myself. And it's the most cringy video that I've ever made. It just hurts me to this day watching it.
That made me feel a little sweaty just because.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to watch it one of these days.
Oh, Lordy. Goddamn. Yeah, no, I had some early stuff too.
Please tell.
So, I mean, when I was super young, I was in middle school with my buddy Joe. Growing up, Joe and I did like everything, just like creative stuff together. And we started this channel that I can't find. I don't know where it is. No. But it was called Shock and Awe Comedy. And it was just
what
terrible
are these junior high kids going to come up with next?
Shock and Awe.
I love it. Seat. No, but it was just like Joe got like this like Nikon point and shoot camera that also had a video function that was just terrible quality video.
It's a good way to say it. It also had a video.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it came with it. It was like it also has it, I guess.
And it was just, I don't know. You can kind of like stitch some images together here. It was horrible, but we just did terrible sketches. Like our big one that we were so excited, we're like, people are going to love this, is we made this like 12-minute sketch called Prune Ball. And the whole thing is,
this is some origin stories.
Yeah.
But did you say 12-minute
12
sketch?
minutes.
All right.
Called Prune Ball. And it's just like we're sitting around. We're like, what should we do? And we go to the ballpark. And we can't hit the baseballs. So I bring out some prunes.
What?
And it's so healthy
so
that
random.
We're hitting baseballs. But the thing is, so the setup is like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's 9 minutes of like... It's just we just wrote down a list like what would be a funny place for the baseballs to land because we're hitting them so hard they're landing all over town.
Love
it. It's just like it hits a dog, it goes in a pool for 9 minutes. And the funny thing is like Joe was like super unathletic when he was younger, so like we couldn't get footage of him hitting the baseball. So we got one take where I threw 3 baseballs and he hit like 2 of them. He kind of like blinked just barely, and then 3 he just hits and it clearly goes straight down. So for like there are like 10 iterations of cutting to the same clip of Joe just whiffing like.
I have to say that is ironically hilarious. Is that what you call it? Like it was accidentally amazing.
I was gonna say the same thing. 9 minutes of it landing places like that's so kind of hilarious.
What's even better is using the same clip of him hitting it straight down, and then it just lands in like a puddle, and he hits it straight down, and it lands in like a baby carriage.
We can't find it anywhere though.
That's what happened with my first channel too with a couple of my friends. It's gone. Mm-hmm. Like I just don't know. I think one of them maybe deleted it, but it's just.
Yeah, I don't know what happens, but I don't know. And then we took like a run at like doing music-y stuff, so we just did like acoustic covers and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. And then I actually tried to do a Let's Play channel. I think it was like 2013 or 2014. Like,
that was when to do it.
Really? That was when it during the horror game.
That was exactly when I tried to do it.
What the fuck was it? Wasn't
Slenderman?
I did a lot of Slenderman.
I didn't do that. It was it wasn't Amnesia, but it was that side Amnesia game made by the same people. It was like in a snow place. I forgot what it was called. There was like wolves in it, and that was like part of the.
No, The Long Dark is a different.
I'm gonna
that's
look
more
it up
recent.
as you talk about the channel.
So I mean, I was. In like middle school or high school, like I would watch like Markiplier and PewDiePie, the big two. Markiplier and PewDiePie would be like, "Oh, free," and then I realized like, "Oh, you can just download half these games are free that they're playing."
Yep.
And so for Christmas, I just asked for like a little blue Snowball USB mic, and I just used my little flip Sony Handycam, and I just did like just really bad stuff where I was definitely trying way too hard for like how young I was, and it wasn't funny.
Absolutely.
Just hey, what's going on, guys? it was just not. It didn't land.
That's
at
my
all.
favorite. Is like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, it was just bad.
What was the game called? But I'm still looking for it. But I had one of the in my gaming channel thing. I think one of the cringiest intro things. It wasn't like for everything, but do you remember when the Call of Duty Hot Sauce Challenge was a thing? Where it was like if you died, it was during Black Ops 1.
You're marketing to us right now.
Yeah. It was during Black Ops 1. If you died, you would like take a shot of hot sauce and keep playing.
Okay.
So I did that, and I filmed the first version of it, and I forgot to record audio.
Oh, no.
So then I recorded the second one, and I got a haircut in between, and I for some reason apologized. Like, sorry, guys, my hair looks a little different, and I got a haircut. But the first video didn't exist.
That's so good.
So I was like, what the fuck?
I love that. That's so funny.
I actually put it in a commentary video, I think about a year ago, where I was like, hey, I'm going to talk about this thing. And, like, if you make it through me talking about, I think it was, like, Jake Paul or something, I was like, I'll show you at the end of this. John Oliver did that before, too, where it's like, I'll show you at the end of this footage of me doing a hot sauce challenge in eighth grade. So it's on my channel somewhere. I just don't know what video it is.
It's so funny.
It's fun.
But I got to find that game. So,
Dude, the thing is, when I was doing it, like, I was playing just like these horror games and stuff, and even the lo-fi ones, like those are scary. Jump scares and stuff, they're scary.
Yeah.
And I was legitimately terrified. So I was trying to be like goofy and stuff too, but I was playing the game because I was sitting in my grandpa's basement, like the back corner, like basically like an empty abandoned warehouse, you know, and it's fully dark in there and shit. And I'm playing these horror games with headphones on, and I'm like, I was terrified every episode. I felt like such an idiot. But there were times where the videos are so fucking boring because I'm supposed to like go to objectives, but I'm just like
so terrified.
I'm like, if I make jokes over by this box, maybe I don't have to go over there because I knew I was gonna get scared. And like there were a couple times where like one time the cat like got downstairs. And I was scared, and it like clawed my leg when I was playing, and it was one of those ugly, where you're just actually terrified.
Yeah.
And it was too stressful for me to do.
I have never related so much to someone, especially with games, because people play scary games, whatever. It's like a huge thing.
Yeah.
I never did scary games, scary movies, anything.
My whole life. I hate scary movies. I still don't watch them.
Hate. Yeah. Hated. Never watched one. I think I ended up watching like one with my mom on accident. We went to the wrong theater, and we're like both doing this, like covering our eyes. Found out that it wasn't a trailer. It was the actual movie. We're like, we gotta get out of here. But yeah, I have the same feelings, and we started playing scary games for the show. That's like one of the biggest things. Kids love it for some reason. Scare the heck out of Parker. But I know exactly what you mean because it's the most terrifying. Hate. I mean, it's just like, and you're sitting there and you're like, literally, I'll just make jokes, around in this box area here.
Yeah, but I mean, but the thing is, what people don't realize too is most of the time you are all alone.
Yes.
And you have, like, you're not watching somebody else, like,
you make all the decisions.
You make the decisions.
Yes.
It's in the monitor that's huge in your face, and you have the fucking surround sound headphones on.
Yeah,
and you can't escape it. It's just there, like you're there.
Have you played VR horror games?
Dude, I tried one on just a cell phone one. Crippling fear. Yep. I can't do it. It's horrible.
I am with scary stuff, and for the PSVR, there's on the demo disc, it was like a side game on the, you know that game Until Dawn?
Yes.
It was like branded through Until Dawn, but it was a carnival horror ride that you would shoot things on. And I was like, you know what? Like this, everyone who I've had to try the horror one, it's like they said it's really cool, like it's pretty crazy. And the demo disc had menus where like you'd go to the game and then it would surround you with a VR menu. So I went to the game, surrounded it, not even a jump scare or anything. Down in the menu, guy, clown with like a knife or something, and I was like, even looking at that, I can't do it.
Out of here.
Can't even try it.
It's terrible. I just tried one of those like the little Galaxy VR things where you can just slip your phone in, and it was just some shitty like second page like there's a demon girl in this house, find the paper. You know, like just terrible. And I didn't even have like the audio was just coming out of the phone. I didn't even have headphones on. And I couldn't do it. Like, I felt stupid. It was last year that I tried to do it. I was like, this is terrifying. I can't do it.
I think the biggest problem with that and what makes it so scary is because I had trouble trying to explain, VR to people who haven't done it, where it's like, yes, obviously there's like a screen in front of you, but your brain processes stuff like it's real in front of you. Like, it's when you have a VR headset on, this, like a cup in VR, looks that distance from me, and it looks like I can reach out and grab it. So horror stuff is way fucking worse than VR.
Yes. Yeah, it was very odd. Okay, so two things here. One, I played a game called Untitled, and it was a VR game. I played it for 2 hours, so I was in it for a long time, where you're in a medieval world, and it was super cool because you could like take out bows and shoot, and you had to like be stealth, you could climb on walls. It was super neat. And then leaving that and coming back to the world, my brain was like, hold up though, but that's real. It was a moment of like my feet didn't quite work just right. It was like I was used to that world. So your brain definitely goes into that, especially when you look around and you know that when I turn that way, what's behind me is whatever is in front of me in this world. You know, like that's odd, and that's not what you get when you play games like this. So horror games, your mind goes into that like fear zone. I played a game called Stifled. So it's a horror game.
Yeah.
You can see by using echolocation. So you can like talk, and if you talk,
dude, that's scary.
And if
great concept though.
Great concept. Yeah. So if you talk, then you can see around you. There's a big scary thing about like orphans and all this stuff that's in the game. It's a really well-made game. The worst thing about that, though, is that if you breathe too loudly, or if you scream, or if you talk because it's commentary, the bad guy hears you and he can chase you.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! Didn't Alien Isolation do that too?
Probably,
dude. That was scary as shit. We were playing with friends and stuff. It wasn't even VR, but it was like you're hiding from like the necromorph, if I got the name right. And
the
is that Turkish also?
It's xenomorph.
Oh, is it? Yeah. What's the fucking necromorph?
Well, isn't necro's for dead.
Necro's dead.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a dead alien.
Yeah.
When the dead aliens are
you want the xenomorph to become a necromorph.
Yes. So when the xenomorph is like chasing, I mean, it's a game setting that you could turn on, and it's a fun fucking thing for party stuff because like we were playing on Xbox. You just go through your Kinect, and that you can. I believe I might be making this up, but I believe there's a setting too where it did camera stuff. So like it read the room, and it's like you can detect movement and stuff too. But it definitely did sound. So it was like the same kind of thing where you're like, and if you get scared, the xenomorph will find you even quicker. It'll come right at you.
What's crazy in that, what the Kinect has for what their technology has, they can read your pulse and all that. So I wonder if they could make games even scarier, where like if your heart rate increases or if it decreases because you're not scared, it'll increase like the scariness of the game to where it'll keep you at that level.
Man. We're just gonna get heart disease at like age 50 with this VR shit.
It's terrifying.
With the combination things of like audio stuff. By the way, I looked at it was Penumbra was the game.
I didn't played that game.
Penumbra was, I think it was, I found it through the Wikipedia, so it was the developers of Amnesia, and when I think they made the first Amnesia while developing Penumbra.
Okay.
But it's one of my favorite, it's like, I think because I don't do horror stuff a lot, probably the most intense horror thing that I did was the PT demo, the Silent Hills one that came out.
That's the scariest thing I've ever played.
Okay, cool, because it terrified me.
Yes.
But it was actually a great memory of, it was, what was that, like 3 summers ago?
I think
it was during the summer because it was during E3. And it was this mystery of, first, they just announced it as a demo. They didn't say it was Silent Hills or anything like that. And they were like, download it if you want to. So I did that, and my friend Paul was coming over who loves horror stuff. And it was like we went swimming, and then we came back. So you know that fun like summer night, like you just swam, you just dried off.
Let's do prank calls and watch scary movies.
I still do that now. No. But we started up, and there was no direction in PT. It was just a hallway down, and then a hallway down, and a door that looped you back.
Yeah.
And then so like for I think 3 nights in a row, we booted it up, and then on the subreddit, it was like people. Oh, I just found this like piece of info, and if you like type this number into a phone, somebody answers and do this.
That's
and
cool.
At one point they were like, "Hey," somebody on the subreddit was like, the girl in it, I think it was like
Lisa.
Yeah. So it was they said in the subreddit like, when you go on the phone call, Lisa can hear you through if you have a PlayStation Eye or if you have a microphone plugged in. And I had a PlayStation Eye plugged in going the entire time. So it was this mystery of like, they were like, okay, like go through this, dial the phone, and then you just have to like scream hello Lisa loud enough for her to not kill you in time. So it was like, that was a rumor. I don't know if that was part of the game like final for it.
I'm not sure.
But it was somebody's idea. So it was just like 3 guys like going like, hello Lisa, just like running up, one of us running up to the camera too. And it was
so
this
good.
weird mold of like real life and
in
horror.
Your mouth, like,
Lisa, please, pick up the phone. No, I love that
that's
stuff.
awesome.
To beat it, you had to because you had to get 8 scraps of paper. They were all in different languages and they were out of order, and you had to translate it.
Right.
And it was like you had to once you finished the spooky eye room, you had to walk 10 steps, wait for the baby to cry, do that 3 times, pick up the phone, and you had to whisper because all of the shit together spells out the name of her lover or something. Then you had to. I was like, Jeffrey, that's crazy or something.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I just want to say again, PT was one hallway down, and then it took a right,
and that was it.
It was a front door. Yeah. You could see up into the upstairs, and then there was a door that when you went through it would loop you back to the beginning. And the scary part was there was this ghost girl who in that small space would appear in different places.
There were 30 different places she could come in.
Well, you were saying something. I'll mention it after, but I just want to make sure everybody knew who was.
Dude, if the thing is they took it off the PlayStation Store,
I still have it.
I still have it.
Yeah,
I still have it.
I have it on mine.
You can't get it anywhere
No,
unless there's some weird
because Silent
shit.
Hills got scrapped because doesn't work
So
for them
if
anymore.
you know somebody that has that that thing, it's a full game. It's a tiny little game. It's just great, but play it. But it's scary as shit.
Yeah, it's on that PlayStation.
Yeah, I got it on my PlayStation.
Yeah, so one of the things is the areas that she could appear. This is what was fucking crazy about the game, is while it was still on the store, I don't know if they updated it to do this, but 2 days in, we had gone through the loop and almost beaten the game. Maybe we probably looped back 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I know where she's gonna appear every time. And then one time, it's the only time I've ever seen it, at the end of the first hallway, there's a window. And just one time we're walking to the close to the window, and then she just popped up and scared in the window. Once out of 1,000.
Wow.
She fucking terrified me.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was the small touches in that was such a cool game because it was so personal of an experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
Other than that, though, I don't really fuck horror stuff.
You
Except for Dead Space 2.
Oh, I played the first Dead Space. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I played on my phone, and I was like,
Did you ever play that game Kraven Manor? Remember that one?
Manor. Well, I got to tell you, I had not played any horror games until Parker plays, so they're all the PG versions.
Oh, yeah. Thank God. Well, Kraven Manor can make it on there, but that was the PewDiePie Markiplier circuit.
Okay.
But it was it's a beautiful game. It's so intricate. It's a full haunted mansion thing. You have to solve puzzles and shit.
Sure.
But for part of it, the bad guys are these possessed mannequins. And there are times where, when you don't look at them, they move. It's like the weeping angel thing, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and the lights are flickering on and off. So there are times where, it goes down and you're trying to back away. And you can hear them move around. It's they just... That was really good. They, creak around. You turn and look, and they're in different positions.
Oh,
I don't know. It's fucking scary.
Hate.
The thing is, even lo-fi horror shit.
It's
my Minecraft zombie sound.
Yeah, it sounded exactly like it.
I can do a creeper. Is that pretty good? Thanks.
Holy shit, dude.
It's good, man.
Sometimes you see a performance and it's
just weeping.
Can you do the Roblox child oof?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That's one of the funniest. I think it's the funniest piece of audio I've ever listened to. Yeah, it's just it's put into everything because it's the kid's so young too.
Yeah,
it just sounds so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, but lo-fi horror shit is still good. I remember playing the first Slender Man one that came out where it just was that gray body model and just the like beige face model. Fucking terrifying.
You know what's crazy to me is the trending games that are going around, horror games especially, that target, not even target as in like, hey, kids play this game, but that kids just fall in love with. Games like Granny. Have you guys ever played Granny on mobile?
Yeah, that's scary.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
Oh yeah, she's like bloody teeth. Okay, so it's this mobile game. So like, of course, kids all over the world is gonna get it.
Yeah,
it's free. And you are a kid, and your grandma is trying to keep you in this room, and so you try to leave, and it's like a scary room, and she's like white and has crazy eyes and like bloody teeth, and she has a bloody baseball bat and hits you.
Oh shit, she was the one in the video that I just reacted to. I reacted to Minecraft animation with Sonic, that dude Baldy.
Yep.
And she was the villain.
Yep.
I didn't know she was like, I didn't know her game
She's
or
huge.
anything.
She looks creepy.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was so big though.
Oh, it might be the biggest game on mobile for kids especially. What? Okay, even crazier. I don't know what she's called. Okay, the only image that has disturbed me greatly. I saw it on PewDiePie's thumbnail first. It's like this girl that has like giant eyes. And I think that.
The smile thing.
That like disturbs me greatly. I still like think about it at night. What's crazy is that Minecraft YouTubers has found that if they use that in a thumbnail, it gets like 700,000 more views.
What?
Kids just attach themselves to those kind of things.
Dude, that's nuts.
Which is crazy to me. Like I am disturbed as a full-on, well, like physically adult, and kids like 6-year-old, 3-year-olds are like, I love it, like more.
Yeah, dude. I tried when I got those iPads from my old school. It's about like I got 5 iPads and they're $20 each. Fuck yeah,
love it. That's awesome.
But I got the Granny game because I was like, let's get some games. I haven't had an iPad before. And Granny was like top of the charts. I got it. I couldn't even play it.
Yep.
Like,
it's terrifying.
Like
it's terrifying.
My brother and I, Sven and I, were playing it, and we the first jump scare, we're like, I can't do this. It's fucking scary. Dude, that's nuts. I remember I always used to be scared of the Jeff the Killer. You remember him?
No.
The face or whatever. It's just that same kind of really overexposed smile with the black. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, have that be a thumbnail, Tony. Dude, one time somebody, I'm fucking mad at this. I had asked occasionally I'll go on Twitter and I'll be like, hey, what is this tech question? Can someone help me? And I was alone in my house, in my college house, and I had asked something, and someone's like, oh, try this link. This will take you there. It was like midnight. I was alone. My room was dark. I had my headphones on.
Oh, were you opening it on your computer?
On my computer.
That's when we're
just sitting there.
Starts playing, and
it was this website, and it was Jeff the Killer's face, and it was shaking, and it went,
right.
God damn.
I hate that. I hate
fuck
that.
You, dude.
Do you
now people are going to fucking do it. Please don't do it, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm wholesome. Seriously.
Like, there's memes, but like.
I'm not even doing a bit. I'll
block you.
I'll fucking block you if you do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 10 of those.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Fuck you guys for watching.
Did you guys ever get the, it's the same like link where you click on a video or whatever, but it's like, not a binaural, whatever it is, where you can hear everything around you. Is it binaural?
I know what you're talking about.
It's like you can, if you play a video, you can hear it over here. You can also hear it as it like travels around your head. You know what I mean?
Biracial.
That's the one. That's the one. So you click on it immediately. It's a white screen, but it plays the sound of like a knocking door on one of your headphones.
I've seen that with Twitch streamers get pranked by that.
Yeah, so it's like that. And you can hear it from a couple different areas. But how it plays, it's a little bit in this ear and a lot in this ear. So your brain thinks it's coming from one direction.
Yeah.
And so it literally sounds like someone's knocking on your door. And that thing terrified me because I'm alone at night. You know, all of a sudden someone's knocking on my window. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. Fuck that shit. Dude, I remember there's this one going around. I feel I'm a dick because I got so many other people with it. But it was like, it was called
knock, kill you.
Damn it, I'll do it. It's me you're talking about. It was literally called like Bong Dong Chong Ghost or something like that. That sounds racist, but it was some variation.
It also
of that.
sounds like an improv name. You're like, what's your ghost name?
Bong Dong Chong
Ghost.
But it was kind of like an anime-ish comic, and it was the kind of thing where it's an enormous web page, and you're just scrolling down, and it's all on the same page. But it's just a static comic, you know? And like over half it's just about this like girl that's going home at night, and then they always tell her like, don't walk alone, because there was this woman that like died. It was a pregnant woman that got hit by a car and she died or whatever, and she roams the streets looking for her baby that she can't find or whatever. No. So you scroll, and it's most of the comic, you know, it's just a fucking comic, and it's frame to frame. And it's like this girl who's a babysitter. Dude, I'm getting goosebumps talking about this. It's like this girl is a babysitter, and she's going home at the end of her shift or whatever, and she sees this like kind of like figure like going down the road and stuff. And like she's
Minecraft
walking
skeleton.
up. Yeah. Yeah, she gets hit. Look, I couldn't do it. If I had ice, I'd do the skeleton.
Oh.
There it is. She hears that. But it's like she sees this figure at the end of like in the darkness or whatever, and then like she goes up to it, and the thing is, it's clearly this woman's head from behind, and her hair's all greasy and shit. But when I don't know how you code this, but it's like when you scroll down to it,
her head turns.
It like flips through a bunch of like images at once to give this really shuddery thing, and her head turns, and she goes.
Oh my god!
Like with her eyes are like sunken out, dude. I got goosebumps just saying that.
That's when I go exit.
Yeah, dude. I used to like. I'm a fucking asshole. I have so much bad karma coming. But I would do that in the library. I'd be like, dude, read this creepy story. Like during study hall when it's silent,
God,
and people would put their headphones on. Because when it happened to me, middle of the library, I screamed and I threw my headphones off. Like screamed like just a little kid.
Oh my god,
dude, it's
That's
terrifying.
the best.
We spent like so much time talking about these shitty little
Too many
horror-
times. Okay. I have one question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So this relates to. I'd be interested to talk to you guys about iPhones and like the next generation, all that fun stuff. Do you think that with the it's harder to control as parents, but also especially that like kids just have access to everything? Do you think that kids will have an easier time with things that are scary in the future because they do have access to things like Granny and that kind of games?
I think the reason I don't like scary stuff is because I completely avoided it as a kid. So my mom was scared of it, and then she was like, I don't know if you want to watch that, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely don't now.
Yeah.
And then you don't have you didn't get that like the callus.
Yeah. So now it's just like when I get scared, I'm like, that's a feeling I never have and I don't like.
That was just
something
it.
I want more of.
My first like true fear experience was watching it when I was a freshman in high school. Like I found a copy of the Blair Witch Project online at the school or whatever, and I watched it in the library, fully populated, fully bright, and I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
And like that was my first like scary shit experience that late in life, you know. I'd say yes, totally. They're gonna be so callous to it.
Yeah, I'm super curious to see how that affects. And everyone thinks everyone has a very pessimistic expectation for like how technology is advancing and everything else. I think people forget the opportunity that comes with technological advances. And I am curious to see the just the slight effects, not like the grand, they have the small attention spans or this or that. I'm just curious of the very slight things. Like, would a generation be less scared generally?
Yeah.
That stuff like that.
I think
It's really
especially because like something like Five Nights at Freddy's, where it's like that was so big.
And it's scary, man.
It is fucking scary.
Yeah.
I would watch those like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Like just be like, oh, if I played this, and I'd watch it and I'd be scared.
Right. And now that's the like one of the biggest games for kids. It's probably the biggest genre for kids is scary.
Really?
Scary games. Yeah.
God, that's so weird.
Like that's the biggest thing because I go to Mind Fair, which is like a Minecraft convention, and I'll go to meet fans and everything else, and because that's the only comment section I get for the show. I don't know who's watching, if people are enjoying it, what they like about it until I like have to see them in person.
Yeah.
Because unless they're shouting at the screen like Dora, I have no way of really hearing them. And so the biggest thing that everyone talks about is scared the heck out of Parker, and like that's a segment in the show where I play scary games, but I don't understand how they like those things so much because like I literally got nightmares. I had to tell the producers, like, I got to do less of this because it's affecting my sleep at night. And yet kids are watching that at night and fine. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't get that. Even still now, I do love horror movies, but when I'm watching them, I'll jump like nuts and I'll still actively like shutter shade, like just kind of look. Yeah. But like I've been exposed to so much of that shit at this point, and I am no more immune than I ever was. I don't get how kids could do that.
Well, I think especially when you're younger too, that your brain's like a sponge for that stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like I think once you were in college already, it's probably like your brain's like I can't adapt to this shit. I've lived way too long now.
Maybe it's just like with them, it's more so like an interesting new experience of feeling fear because they probably don't feel it very often unless they're kind of in a bad home situation.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if there's no real correlation to them with fear and actual danger because they're seeing it through a TV or a video game.
True, yeah.
That's interesting. And the filter of having someone else play it too. Like that was always the thing. I mean, even for me, when I got into Let's Play stuff when I was in high school for the most part, like watching them in the library, and I would watch Markiplier and PewDiePie because I was like, I want to see what these games are about, but there's no way in God's name I'm playing them. Yeah.
Because I would watch their like videos. So I never really like I watched I got into like watching gaming videos more so when I started watching Inside Gaming and Funhouse. I mean, same thing, but became something different because of the comedy stuff. But I did get like I would watch PewDiePie occasionally and Mark occasionally, and that's what I would watch them for, like the horror ones, because like that was the only taste of horror stuff I could do. But I would pause the video and be like, I can't go any further.
Yeah, I would always
I'll be in the
pause
comment
it.
section.
Right. I would do that. I would pause it and be like, jump scare at 14:50. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. And then I'd watch the jump scare and be like, all right, well, I'm okay.
Okay, I know what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen right around here, so I can do this. Ah, Jesus!
Yeah, still get nightmares. Doesn't work. I don't know. I had a good question.
Oh no.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good, dude.
What would you say is your favorite part? Like, what's the easiest and what's the hardest part, I'd say, of like doing what you do now with the show or with the channel or anything?
The hardest thing, because in 2017 I was like, well, let's see how much a body can do work-wise. I'm just gonna see like how much you can do, how much time you can spend, whatever, and you learn. Your body fights back at you and crashes and everything else. I think the hardest thing for me is finding a good balance, and not only with consistency for the people that rely on you for that balance, but also like in my own relationships and everything else. So I think that's hard, especially when you want to do everything, but you find as you do everything that each thing is just a little worse. So like that's hard to do, but also at the same time, because of how quick our world is advancing and because of how we're expanding so quickly, it's like unless in my opinion, a few people are going to succeed in one area. But if you have your hand in multiple areas, you have a higher chance of at least making the same amount of money than if you like committed fully. But there's less risk because you have more hands and more pies.
Yeah.
So like that's my feeling towards it. And it's just the hard part is just really balancing all those to make sure that you are not screwing yourself over.
Yeah.
And just like spreading yourself way too thin.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem is like focusing on stuff. Like I'm really good at starting stuff, but when it's a big project, especially writing and shit, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
How do you stay focused?
Focusing for me, oh man, good question. I've tried a couple different things. One is called blocking, which I actually kind of like. There's a dude named Tim Ferriss. Do you know who Tim Ferriss?
Oh
is?
yeah, the podcast.
Yeah,
he
he's
gets
great.
some banging guests on that show. Holy.
This guy, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But he was like my guy when I was like, I want to find out how to do it, because he's very much like the 4-hour work week and everything else, the efficiency and testing your body, what can you do, yada yada. And so a lot of the stuff that he says, one of which is blocking, where you take, and I think I'm butchering the theory for this, but it worked for me, is you take what you have to do and block out your entire day in 15-minute segments. So that no matter what happens when you start that, you can do pretty much anything for 15 minutes, and it's not so bad. And then you know in your mind, I have to focus because I only have 15 minutes on this. And secondly, in 15 minutes, I'm done. I'm out. That's it. So for me, it was easy to block the amount of time that I was spending, and also I felt like I could accomplish something and feel like I did it no matter what. I didn't finish it, but I spent 15 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And you can actually, I found that a lot more happens in that 15 minutes than if I just go like, I'm just going to do it, and I spend an hour on it, I don't really get a whole lot done. So like that helped me staying on task.
Yeah. But how does that translate to, like, what if you're, like, editing something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I tried editing, because I really need
I
need to hit that wave, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, writing stuff, you know? Like, I just feel so removed. Because that's what's most of what hangs me up is, like, a long edit, or, like, if I'm writing a script or some shit, you know?
Yeah, you know, especially long edits for me is, like, a whole issue. But you know who actually gave me a really good tip on it on Twitter when I asked about it was Autumn from Sugar Pine.
Yeah.
She said... like, just stand up and kind of pace around, but don't do anything else, and you'll get so bored that you'll be like, oh, I want to edit because I've got nothing else to do.
That's a great point.
It's worked so well for me.
That's a great point. Yeah, that is removing yourself from any other activities is great, because then your body will just create automatically because it needs to. Like what I started doing, and I'm debating on this because it takes like mental time and energy, because I start thinking about it, and that takes away from my work and everything else. But I literally started playing RuneScape only when I'm editing, to where like it takes. Okay, so you click 4 times, and then your character will like fletch or skill or whatever else, and that takes 40 seconds. I don't have to focus on it. But in my mind, the part of my mind that would want to get distracted is already satisfied because that's happening over here, and then I edit. And I can, because
like 2 windows open at the same time, or do you like?
Yeah, because I have 2 monitors. I have editing on this side, and I have this on this side, and that's helped for me because I used to play so much RuneScape that I could sit there for 20 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
I could do the most monotonous things on the game, and so that helps me be like, all right, well I can do this for a couple hours, and then I knock out in editing, and then I feel like I've accomplished it. So like I don't know if that's gonna work. I'm gonna see, because my fear is that when I finish editing, or I'll spend more time on it or whatever, or just the mental energy of thinking about, I gotta get this level, I gotta get the skill or whatever else. So I'm testing it out. It's like I'll only work when I'm smoking cigarettes. It's like the worst way to quit cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do that, but I do that same method, but not with productive shit. I'll be like, oh, I really want to level up my illusion magic in Skyrim because no one uses illusion. Yeah. So I'm just gonna watch The Office and keep going like with my right hand.
Exactly.
But that I get nothing done though. Is the thing. Do you have like a game or like a show or something that's like just your default where it's just like, 10 years could go by and I'll just always sink into this?
Yep, The Office.
Yeah, that's my show.
I've seen the show 4 times probably.
Yeah, it's just like it's that one show that just you can keep on a loop always.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I have that with Always Sunny, but like The Office is still a little bit more. Where it's
so wholesome and just easy to watch and satisfying.
It's got everything too, because like Sunny, is just pure comedy the whole time. But like The Office has like romantic stuff if you're like in the mood for that. It really has like every beat that you would want. And something about it, even though like an episode will start, and I know from watching it so many times, I know what's going to happen in the episode.
Yeah.
But there are so many jokes in The Office that you can't remember all.
It's so well written.
Yeah. That's Drew Gooden did a video on it called Efficiency in Comedy, The Office vs. Friends, and about just like how many jokes there are in The Office.
Interesting.
It's insane. It's just constant joke the entire time. So like I think there's just so many in the entire series that sometimes you'll be watching an old episode, and even if I feel like there's some that surprise you, but some that are just like so funny no matter what, and they're usually just Steve Carell's performance.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh my God, that's so, like, I will never not laugh at this because it's so fucking funny.
That's the thing is, like, I think I've used this line with you before where even as I'm rewatching The Office and stuff, it's the only show where I watch it and I feel like I'm actively doing something, because it's like I'm going through this part of the life for people. It's like, oh, they're gonna do the Halloween episode, but they got to get that shit into corporate. Like, why do I care about that?
Yeah.
But then also, like you said, like with rewatchability, like there are so many scenes and like episodes where there are such true human moments, and there are such hilarious things that like I can put it on. I watch it every night before I go to bed. I just put it on. I watch an episode and then I'll fall asleep in the second one. And then there's ones too where it's like I'm eating a sandwich, I'm gonna laugh. Like I'm gonna watch that again. Like I don't know.
I still, when I'm watching with people, especially, will laugh out loud at The Office, even if I've seen an episode. Which I think like I watched it live, like as it came out, because my parents liked it a lot.
That's cool.
So there's also like the comforting, like nostalgic thing where I started season 2. I didn't see season 1 live.
That's amazing.
Of like one thing I liked is when I first rewatched through it, it was like discovering it again because I was an adult now, and like when you're a kid, or at least I was a teenager, and when you're a kid, you don't catch stuff like even close to it. But yeah, even like rewatching it, I don't even know how long I've had it on loop. Like I might have seen The Office now like definitely over 10 times, but I don't know how many times, because you just can't keep track of like what seasons you bounce to and everything like that. But it's just I forgot what I was saying now. Just completely went off track of the like mentioning the live thing. What did you say right before that? I'm so sorry.
It feels like you're doing something. It's funny.
Oh no, I think I was gonna say even just like the comfort of rewatching of like they go through the year. So like it's just comfort. There's so much progress of it. You know what I mean? Where you it's people going to work. You feel like almost you're at work doing it.
That's why
it's like watching Casey Neistat, where you feel like you're accomplishing things. Yeah. And then you end the video and you're like, I'm in my underwear still.
Yeah.
I laugh my ass off at every Casey Neistat video too. Fucking running idiot. That's why we were talking before about Harry Potter, like why I'm rereading the books right now. Nice. I haven't done that since I was in middle school.
That's fun.
And it's like, because it feels like you're going through the year with them. Like I don't know. I like that, where it's like you are familiar with the framework, the template of what's supposed to happen, but then you get to re-see like, oh, what happens here? This is interesting.
Specific ones like that, like I think Harry Potter is pretty special because it's one that lasted so long growing up, because it was not only the books starting, but then the movies following, and then the movies ending after the books. Yeah. Where when you reread or rewatch, it is like the most kind of reliving childhood stuff that I've ever had, other than like playing old games that I liked a lot, because it's just you spent so long with it. You know what I mean? It was just like so many years of your life. That's it. That's all I got.
I don't know. Were you a Harry Potter head when you were a kid, or
no? I grew up in an extremely Christian household, and so like things like Pokemon, even because they evolve. You know what I mean?
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's great. I love that
it's
logic.
Unfortunate It's very sad because everyone has this powerful nostalgia with Pokemon, and I feel nothing.
I was late to Pokemon, so
I was so late. I don't have it.
You.
I don't have it. I got kind of into it in college.
But I was late.
I'm into it, but like it was like college.
I want to be, because like the concept is just like brain. No, you love this. You'll totally love this. It has it checks all the boxes. But because I don't have that childhood connection, I can't get a Pokemon Go and anything else, and like it's sad.
No, that's all right, dude. I forgot. My parents were like, they were kind of Christian-y and like, but they had weird restrictions, and it was never for like Christian shit. But like for some reason, I couldn't watch Rugrats when I was a kid.
I couldn't either.
Really?
I don't know why.
Wait, what is it about Rugrats?
That was like for us, it was Angelica because she was such a brat, and I had two older sisters, and so they were afraid that my sisters could like latch on to their personality, to Angelica's personality.
That's so bizarre to me because like my mom especially like loves Rugrats because she watched it with my sister when it was coming out. My sister was older, but then like they were on reruns for like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I feel like I would have fucking loved Rugrats when I was a kid.
Rugrats is dope.
My parents never gave me a reason. They're just like, you can't watch Rugrats. And at the time, like initially, because I was so small, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I started catching episodes on the sneak, and I was like,
this is great.
What the fuck is wrong with this? It's a bunch of babies.
Yeah. Yeah. What? I'm so confused on what. Like other than the Angelica, that's like a proper. Well, like, do you know they didn't give you a reason?
I should ask my mom. She'll be like, I don't know. No. I'm sure she won't even remember.
Right. It was like one episode she saw when she's like, drinking some wine and just like, how dare they do this on kids television? There's no way I'm letting my son watch that.
Is that a tit? Turn it off.
Turn that off. Gross. Disgusting.
They had a really like heartfelt episode about because Chucky's mom is gone in the series, so they had like a whole episode of like him, like the parents, kind of telling a young kid like, hey, this is why you don't have a mom and this is why she's not around. It's like heartbreaking. Watch clips on YouTube. It's real sad.
Really?
I love when they kids like shows or movies will like set aside kind of like making things happy to be like, we have to teach this lesson to somebody. You know what I mean?
Like the SpongeBob pizza delivery
That's
episode?
exactly it. You never forget that a diet Dr. Kelp or things will go wrong.
Yes. It's like the old USPS model. Rain, sun, or hell. We'll get through it.
Do you think... Never mind.
I came up with a really terrible joke as you were saying that. It was like a really nice thing. Okay, this is so bad. Everyone's just gonna click out.
I want to hear it.
Your retention's gonna go to 0.
Damn
All right, so Chucky, the child.
Right.
Now when the parents go to like take a photo of Chucky, do they say Chucky cheese?
I know.
Should I take this off? Should I go? Should
I? Thank you, Parker, for stopping by. Do you have anything you want to plug?
My mouth would be great.
He's still doing it, Eddie.
That's just 2 in a row. I get out my book. I'd be like, I'm waiting to give these.
We've done that bit before. It's like I'm trying to whisper something to you. Or you always do it back.
Yes. This is bad, man.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. Man.
Parker, mute yours for a sec.
Yeah. Is it this way?
Yeah, all the way down. I don't know. Actually, that's mine. I didn't even realize.
All right, which one?
That one's me. That one's
Holy fuck, it's so loud now.
All right, there we go.
All of our audio-only people are going to be like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't hear you guys.
Well, they could hear all of that, so I don't think they would be too confused on what... Because that's not the feedback from the mic. It's just our own headphones,
it's our own
so they're not going to be confused at all. If anything, everyone's more confused now that you said that.
It's just us touching things over here. It's not even in frame. It's just us like just...
Well, coincidentally, we are pushing an hour 40 right now.
Oh, so really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I
Let's do 6 more hours.
That was a bopping episode.
Bopping as ever. I feel like 35 minutes was just us talking about horror.
And horror games. I'm sure that was it. Yeah.
Not even mad about it.
That while we were talking about that like creepy feeling of being alone watching a video and talking about the horror stuff, somebody was listening to this podcast. It was like nighttime and they're feeling a little creeped out when we were talking about it.
Little
bitch.
Get some of that tingles on the old head. The old ASMR.
The good old.
Ooh. All right. Before we end this,
please.
All right, can I have a poll here?
Yep.
I found ASMR when I was a wee young lad, and by that I mean I was like 16 or something. I've always had insomnia, and it helped me so much to go to sleep. What do you guys think about ASMR? Do you get it? Do you feel it? Do you understand it?
I get it. I don't enjoy it, but I don't actively dislike it. I understand it. I will not partake.
I feel you. Do you get the old tings?
The old tings?
This is what we in the biz called
the old tings.
The old tings.
What's it registering on the little tingometer? I mean, I don't really get the tings. I mean, I could see how the whisper stuff would be intriguing. Some of the sounds, I guess, would be kind of cool, like...
I've caught a little bit of it, and I've gotten a ting or two, but I haven't really gotten into it.
Have you ever climaxed?
It's like when they got like a... I mean, that's just any YouTube video. But like when they take like a brush or something, I'm like, okay, that sounds good, but I never like really search it.
Because, like, I don't know. Me and my sister are the same way because she loves it. But, like, literally my whole scalp is just, it, like, explodes. Like, it's just, like my whole back, and it puts me to sleep. It's amazing.
Interesting.
It's like, when someone sings really amazing and you get the chills, that's what I get every time with ASMR. I love ASMR.
Interesting. I get that every time I sing, so that's interesting. You feel that from some other person.
When you sing Happy Birthday to me in a really weird tone at the Applebee's.
That's why, I go happy. Oh!
I get the opposite. It's whenever Gus isn't singing.
Yeah.
The only time he stops is when he starts singing. I just go,
give me that ting back.
Give me that tings, man. Give me the tings.
My ting. Well, this is a fun ass episode.
This was good, man. I enjoyed this.
Bob. Where should the people find you? What you want to give a little plug to?
Well, I'm doing daily Minecraft videos right now on that Parker Plays Minecraft channel. ParkerGames, doing some videos there. And then I'm on Sugar Pine 7 every now and then. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I'll be here. I'll be around. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, ParkerGames.
I want to mention really quick before we go out from the recent. I forgot what the video is titled, but when you did the bits with the board and drawing the camera,
right.
Fucking hilarious, dude. That was so great.
I miss bitten with the boys.
Yeah. Well, awesome, dude. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Anytime.
And thanks for everybody for watching.
Bye. That's it.
Get the fuck out of here, honestly.
I'm so excited for you to send us all the scary things you possibly find.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't ask
Tony,
that.
cut the feed.
Tony, cut it.
Tony,
cut it, Tony.
Tony.
Docs Parker, please.
God!